We'll move away from Leinster though and towards Munster. Pat, come back to you. Limerick getting promoted, of course, they bet Sligo at the weekend. Not a great sight for us in Sligo. Michael, you watched the game too. Ian Corbett has had an outstanding weekend, and I'm sure Waterford are going to have to keep an eye on him next week too.
Yeah, Ian's name is kind of the one that's kind of getting out around the country. Even he last year's performance against Tipperary in the Munster Championship and he got the Player of the Week for that week. So it was a massive thing for Limerick to have someone in that category. So he's and Tomás O'Shea gave him a shining reference there on Sunday, and again on his Twitter feed. So Ian has been solid for years. I played with Ian 2013, 2012. So he's coming a long while. He's the leader of the team. That was a massive thing for Limerick to get out of Division 4. They did 4 years there. Look, we all know that it's a struggle down there. People might say, look, if you're good enough, you should be getting out of there. It's never that easy. You're playing away matches against Longford. You're going up to Sligo. Every away match is so tough, especially in the current environment where you're not able to do the things you would have normally done. So, I was pretty worried as a supporter of the lads, and after last week's performance against Wexford, where it was in your hands, win your home match against Wexford, and that's the job done. And I know Billy Lee, the manager, said it afterwards. There was a cloud over the lads for the week, and himself in particular, about the performance. And I was fairly worried going up to Sligo, but I have to say the performance that you produced on the day was exceptional. From the very off, they just seemed to find loads of space in the Sligo half, and they were willing runners. I'd say this about the lads, that Adrian O'Brien's gone in there as S&C coach the last 2 or 3 years, and you're beginning to see a bit of benefit of what he's doing. There's a lot of powerful runners, a lot of fast guys in the team, and they were cutting through Sligo at ease pretty much on last Sunday. Now, maybe Sligo were looking at it a bit different, because I know for a fact that Waterford are a completely different setup. Benji Whelan, he sets up men behind the ball. So it'll be an interesting game on Saturday. And having played Waterford and beaten them twice already this year, down there, the boys will know how to do it, but it'll be it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season, not to buy in 3 times. So it'll be a tough battle on Saturday.
Michael, you're nodding the head there as well. Of course, I know you watched the Sligo Limerick game. Probably looking back on it, Sligo might have thought they should have put a man in there between the full-back and half-back line to stop them runs from Ian Corbett and from Tracy in midfield as well. Do you think Waterford are going to have a plan? I'm sure they have a plan in place to try and stop the 2 lads if they can stop them.
Just on Limerick, first of all, I just have to commend Billy Lee, because just when they went down to Division 4, first of all, we played them away and they brought us down. They must have extended the border straight into Cork, because we travelled down very far that morning, down to the guts of the bottom end of Limerick. But they got away with a point or 2 win that day. And we played them the next year in Carrick-on-Shannon. We bet them well. But since then, there seems to be progression every year with Limerick. And I was very impressed with them on Sunday in the Sligo game. As Pa said, they're off the ball running and they work rate for each other. The 2 strong lads in the middle. Sligo just didn't seem to deal with that at all. They seemed to attack it well, lose the ball in attack, and then get caught in the counter. The one thing I would say about Waterford is they're very Jekyll and Hyde. You could play them twice and beat them well, and they'll come out in Championship, and they're always worth an outside bet in Championship, because they always seem to have one big performance in them in the year, and that's the only thing I'd be worried about if it was coming from the Limerick camp. They always, especially in Dungarvan, they have that something a little bit extra, and if you get the price for them at the weekend, I'm sure there'll be long odds to beat Limerick, but it might be a good bet.